Okay, in this video I'm looking at tables, graphs and rules. So we're kind of getting into that linear equation, linear function type work where we're given an equation and we want to get some coordinates and graph that. So being linear, we have an x here with no power, so just to the power of 1, no squared or cubed or anything. And our linear functions generally have the form of y equals mx plus c, where m is our gradient and c is our y-intercept. The y-intercept is when x equals 0, and we can see that's where it'll cross the y-axis. So having a look at this one here, 3x minus 2, what we can do is set up a table of values. Sometimes you'll be given a table to fill in. If you're not, you're just picking 3 values. I always like to choose 0 in the middle and a positive and a negative number. So I'm going to choose -2 and +2. You could have used -1, +1, -3, +3. Really doesn't matter. We just want 3 coordinates to plot. If we've only got 2 and we've got one wrong, you're not going to notice that. If you do 3 and you've made an error, you're going to see that it doesn't form a straight line. So working out some y values for that then. I've got 3x take away 2. So whatever the x is, I've got to multiply it by 3 and take away 2. So 3 times -2 is -6, and when we take away 2, we get -8. 3 times 0 is 0. When we take away 2, we get -2. That's our y-intercept. We can also see that from our equation as well, because the plus c is our y-intercept, which is -2, which is what we worked out. 3 times 2 is 6, take away 2 is 4. We can then draw a graph of that. So I'm going to set up my axes. Now I know on my x-axis I need to have -2, 0, 2. That's my x. And on my y I need to go down to -8 and up to 4. Now I think I'm going to go in 2s. So I'm going to go -2, -4, -6, -8, my y, and then 2, 4, 6 there. Then I'm going to plot those coordinates. So -2, -8, I'm going to go across to -2, down to -8. For 0, -2, that's where it's crossing the y-axis, 0, -2. And then, oh, and I've labelled this wrong here, 1, 2. So then I've got 2, 4 is going to pop over there. When I join that up, we'll see that that forms a straight line. When we graph, we always want to write the name of the graph on there. So I'm going to write y equals, and we've got 3x take 2. That's the name of that graph. And I've got my x and y labelled on my axes as well. And I've got my numbers, just going to make that a little bit clearer, on my graph. Things that you'll notice is that y-intercept. If I'd put a -1 in, we also would have noticed that each time it was going up in 3s. That's about all that you'll need to be able to do. You might be looking at some graphs, trying to come up with the rule as well, looking where the y-intercept is, looking what happens as you go across one.